Triple H isn't going to become hip overnight. Triple H is not hip. Triple H has never been hip. I promise you guys, I am 10 plus years older than freaking Triple H, and I'm 1,000 times more hip than Triple H is. It's that traditional wrestling bullshit.
All right, Vince, we're going to lose getting together on a weekly basis like this with Sportskeeda. And there's a few questions that Sportskeeda did send me. They wanted us to talk about before we got out of here. And one of those being, what changes in WWE do you feel like need to be made to make that show great again?
Get rid of the whole. Get rid of the whole. Get rid of the entire level of good old boys. Period. End of story. I don't give a shit what you say. Hunter needs to go. Heyman needs to go. Hayes needs to go. Pritchard needs to go, because as long as they're still there, you're gonna get your old school wrestling bullshit. They need an absolute new way of thinking. And those four guys, bro, you're never, ever, ever going to move forward with those four guys, Mac. That, of course, no. that is all my opinion. But guys, I am watching the show and I know what they could do. Mac, I swear to God, I told you, I wrote the first 9 shows for Juggalo. And, of course, Violent J is involved in all that. Violent J has the last say so he comes in with creative and shit, and we all put that together. But Mac, we're talking about, drug testing. There's a wrestling character called Cocaine, for freaking crying out loud. We're talking about the Me Too movement. I'm going to talk about concussions and concussion protocol. These are all things that are covered on TV every single day. Bro, these guys had the hurt, what was it, the Hurt Business? They had the Hurt Business during Black Lives Mattered and never mentioned Black Lives Matter. Are you nuts? Like, never mentioned. They got this group of black guys, and that was never mentioned. And then they're going to tell you, oh, it's because of sponsors and bullshit. They don't know how to deal with anything that's reality. They have no clue. Bro, they were doing COVID in empty arenas and not discussing COVID. They never brought up COVID. There's no people in the arena and they're not bringing up COVID. It has nothing to do with freaking sponsors, advertisers bailing out. They don't know how to do real life shit. And why? Because of the big four I just named, bro. Yep. They are wrestling 101, and that crap is never going to change until they're gone.
And, I want to point this out, too, that we're not talking about the talent that needs to go, the old boys, and the talent-wise. It's not the talent's fault. The talent are delivering what is being given to them by the writers and the creators, or the ideas that they have to go on the screen. And it sucks. It literally sucks. And if you don't take out those names, the 4 names you just mentioned, and probably a couple other ones, really, if you take those names out, you're starting fresh. As long as those names stay there, it will never get fresh, because you still have those 4 main guys calling the shots. So nothing will ever change.
Nothing will ever change. Triple H isn't going to become hip overnight. Triple H is not hip. Triple H has never been hip. I promise you guys, I am 10 plus years older than freaking Triple H, and I'm 1,000 times more hip than Triple H is. It's that traditional wrestling bullshit. Bro, we're right where we were when Vince McMahon brought me in. We're right at the same place. Freaking Bruce was there. T.L. Hopper, The Goon, Mantar, Freddie Joe Floyd. Who? That's we're at the exact freaking same place, guys, and the same guy's still there. So I don't know. I don't know how you expect change with these freaking people, bro.
You're not going to get change. I mean, it's obvious, and it's been obvious. Even when Vince McMahon was there, and I liked Vince, but Vince did get older, and he got out of touch of the product, and he needed to be gone as well. I think I've even said that on the show, that while I think he should have stayed in the company at some fashion or another, I didn't think he needed to be the one that made the final call when it came to creative. And what we have now are the same people who are making those calls that were there when Vince was there even. And these guys are never going to change. If you want a complete and new product that feels fresh and new, then start with a fresh new group of guys who understand how to produce today's wrestling.
1000%. And Mac, that's the problem. These people don't watch television.
No. You can tell that.
Yeah, it's wrestling 24/7. They have no idea what's on the other channels, what's on the other They have no freaking idea, bro. Look at freaking Netflix and the documentaries like they put up on a daily basis. Yep. They don't watch any of this crap.
No. Look, the one thing that wrestling would do well for itself would be to watch what people watch.
Yep.
And don't just watch your own product, because you're getting out of touch with what people really enjoy. When it comes to these other shows that you talk about on Netflix, whether it's a documentary or a series, whatever it may be, you want to see the next episode.
Yep.
That does not exist in today's wrestling. I can't recall the last time I ever thought to myself, I can't wait to get in front of the TV. It's almost time for Raw. It's almost time for SmackDown.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. That hasn't happened since we had the Monday Night Wars. It's all died away because everybody got settled into their little comfy spots and kept producing the same shit across all screens.
Yep.
And the fans now are like, that's why things like, the Insane Clown Posse and their wrestling group, there's a reason why these groups exist. It's because it does not exist on television, and people want to see that type of entertainment. Yep. That's what fans want to see.
Yep. And again, bro, it's all about taking chances. Bro, There would have never been an Attitude Era if Vince McMahon didn't take a chance. I mean, let's be honest. He rolled the dice and took a chance. He took a chance with me, and he took a chance with my style of writing. Think about where they'd be if he never took that chance. Bro, of course there's going to be chance when you're doing something new. But, bro, without chance and without rolling the dice, you're never going to grow. Nothing is ever going to change. Everything is going to remain the same.
I've always said that most of my success and whatever I've done in my life has been because I took a leap. I took a chance on something that maybe I normally wouldn't do, and I wanted to do the best I could at it. Taking those chances and making those adjustments make all the difference in my life, and it will make the difference when it comes to anybody's life, as well as what we see entertainment-wise on TV. Vince McMahon was smart enough to know his company was sucking. And he had to do something. Right. So he reaches around and he grabs a Vince Russo from the magazine and says, hey, you think you can do this? Come do this. We've got to shake things up. Yep. He was bright enough to know that.
Absolutely.
Does Triple H have that intelligence to know things are not working and I've got to shake things up?
Man, I got to tell you, Mac, you and I talk about this all the time. If they can continue down this road, I would have to believe the pressures are going to mount from Netflix and ESPN. I'm not even including USA Network in that, or Saudi. USA Network, Saudi will take whatever. ESPN and Netflix won't. Bro, the bottom line is, there's a part of me, honestly, that I always ask myself this, Mac. Does Triple H think this is good? Like, is that what we're getting because he thinks this is good?
I would have a problem with that if that's the case. If he thinks this is good, that means he's forgotten the Attitude Era that he lived in, that he formed in. If you forget that, look, I go back to this all the time. If you simply go back to the Attitude Era and look at the things that they were doing that made it so special, you could do that today. It's just a lack of willingness to do something and to actually put some work into something. This product that we get from WWE is such a disappointment. It has been a disappointment for many people for years and years. And the only time that it stopped being a little bit of a disappointment was when AEW came along and gave them a little competition. Then all of a sudden we started seeing a few changes here and there, and things got to be a little more interesting. But now that AEW has kind of slid away into the back again, WWE is back to giving us this kiddie crap that we get on a regular basis that makes no sense. There are no storylines. There are no cliffhangers. There is nothing to make you want to watch the following show.